We don't need computers either. Okay, so I'm going to go through the quiz for the first part of class, and then I'll hand out the reviews that are due tomorrow, so you can finish. You can work on the reviews the rest of class. You like just signing my board every day? I know. Okay. Okay, first question on the quiz. Identify the congruent triangles in the figure. Identify the congruent triangles in the figure. So I'm just going to start with any 3 letters. Am I the wrong quiz? Is this one question on it, though?
There's a K and N.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are just going to be out of order. Okay. Okay, so now that I've chosen my first 3 letters, I'm just going to figure out what corresponds. So it looks like if I go NMK, that's LMK. The first 3, the letters of your first 3, it doesn't matter. So if you did it in a different order, as long as you matched it up to the corresponding parts, you got the problem right. I think most everybody did this one okay. If JGO is congruent to RWI, which angle corresponds to I? Angle O, because it's in the 3rd spot. Sorry, they're out of order. I don't know what number that one was. What number is it?
That one was
4. Number 3 is 5? Okay. In the diagram, triangle ABC is congruent to DEF. Find the values of X and Y. ABC and DEF. Okay, so let's work on Y first. Y is angle E. Well, what angle corresponds to E? B, which is 80 degrees. 6y minus 4 equals 80. 6y equals 84. So y equals, what, 14? Okay, now let's focus on ED. ED is 3x minus y. ED is corresponding to AB, and AB is 10. So I just say 3x minus y equals 10. I know y is 14. 3x minus 14 equals 10. So 3x equals 24. X equals 8. If you're planning to retake, please ask me questions if you don't understand something I did, because I want you to get a better grade on the retake. Which y? Over here? I replaced it with what I found y to be. Nope, good question. Any others? Okay. What's number 4? 6? So this is number 6. In the figure, QR is congruent to SR. Anytime I have something in writing like this, I start marking up my drawings. Do not be afraid to mark up your drawings so you can see it. So it says QR is congruent to SR. So I'm going to make lines telling me that that's true. PQ is congruent to TS. PQ, TS. Point R is the midpoint. Okay, what does the midpoint of a segment tell me about those 2 pieces of the segment? They're equal. So I can just do this. Right? I know that's true. Mark up your drawing. Determine which theorem or postulate could be used to show that these 2 triangles are congruent. Anytime I'm trying to prove 2 triangles congruent, I'm going to use one of 5 theorems or postulates. Side, 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 angle, angle, side, angle, 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 side, hypotenuse, leg. Those are the 5. So anytime you're asked which theorem or postulate proves triangles are congruent, you need to use one of those 5. I was surprised at the number of people that had an angle in their answer. You were not given anything about angles in what was given here. You were only given sides. So the only postulate that would work here is side, side, side. Does everybody see that? You can't assume anything. I can't assume these are right angles. If it's not given to me, I cannot assume it. Okay, I can't assume those are right angles. All I know are the 3 sides are congruent, therefore side, side, side. Okay, mark up your drawings so you understand what's given to you. So now I know the two triangles are congruent. What's the relationship between Q and S? They're congruent angles. That's what I was looking for. Some of you put corresponding. That's really true also, so I didn't count it wrong, but I really wanted to see that those two angles are congruent. And why are they congruent? What would be the reason? They're corresponding angles, so you're really close to the reason. It's 5 letters. CPCTC. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Okay, once I know these two triangles are congruent by side, 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 I know Q and S are congruent, I know P and T are congruent, I know this angle and this angle are congruent by CPCTC, because they are all corresponding parts to congruent triangles. Okay, so when you're trying to prove two triangles are congruent, you're going to use one of 5 theorems or postulates. Side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, hypotenuse, leg. Once you've proven those two triangles are congruent, and you want to use a reason for any of the corresponding parts, the reason is always CPCTC. Okay, so using that information, so this is, they are congruent. Are you finished? So now I'm going to complete the proof. I'm given that angle Z and angle C are congruent. I'm given that AK bisects ZKC. ZKC. AK bisects it. What does that tell me? Mark up your drawing. What does it tell you? If AK bisects an angle,
Did you do 7 or 5, I guess?
yeah, the relationship is they're congruent. Okay, that means this angle and this angle are congruent. Okay, so first off, I go angle Z is congruent to angle C. It's given. And this is going to be a pain because I'm going to have to go back and forth. And that AK bisects ZKC. The next one says angle ZKA is congruent to CKA. ZKA is congruent to CKA. Why? Why can I mark that up? Definition of angle bisector. That's all you had to put there. Then it says AK is equal to itself. Reflexive property. Okay, now the final step was to prove the two triangles are congruent. So it had to be one of 5 answers. Side, 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 angle, 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 side, hypotenuse, leg. Anytime you're going to prove two triangles are congruent, it's one of those 5. Okay, well when I go back up and I'm going to mark that this is equal to itself. Okay, so what I really have are these two triangles. And if it helps to break them apart so you can see it, do it. That's equal to that, that's equal to that, that's equal to that. So which theorem or postulate could I use? Angle, angle, side. Okay, I would need to know this and this for angle, side, angle. And I would need to know this or this for side, angle, side. I would need to know 3 sides for side, side, side. I would need to know those two triangles are 90s or perpendicular or right triangles to use hypotenuse, leg. So I didn't have any of those. The only one I had was angle, angle, side. Mark your drawing up. Split the triangles apart if you need to so you can really see it clearly. Don't be afraid. Don't just think you can look at it. I can't look at it and see. I've got to mark my stuff up. Okay? Complete line 2 and line 4. We did that. Okay, refer to the figure. Find the measure of angle 1. Now this wasn't on yours. Cred, what were the ones I haven't done yet?
Angle 1, angle 2, angle.
Yes, please.
Angle 1, angle 2.
I'm going to have to draw it now. Great.
1, 2.
This was an old test, sorry, that I've got up here. 2, 1, 3, 37. And I need to find angle 1, 2, and 3. 41, 66, 37. So I'd probably shoot for angle 1 first, because this triangle here in red, I have 2 of the 3 angles, right? 166, 137. So that is 103 for those 2. So this must be 180 minus 103, right? Which is 77. So angle 1 is 77. Did that eliminate anything? 2 of them, so now I know it's 1 of 2 that's left. 50-50 shot, that's always good. Okay, if this is 103, this must be 77, because it's a linear pair, right? So now I've got 41 plus 77, which is 118. So I can find angle 2 by subtracting 118 from 180, which is 62. So angle 2 is 62. Have I eliminated anything yet?
That's not right.
It's not right. What did I do wrong? This angle is, what did we say, 77?
Yeah.
So this must be not 77. That would be helpful. I could actually do this right. Sorry. If that's 77, this must be 103. So this is 103. Now I take 41 plus 103, and I get 144, which means angle 2 must be 36. Now, have I picked one? Okay. So we could go ahead and find angle 3 now. What is this angle equal to? This angle right here. This one here, which is 103, because they're vertical angles. So if this is 103 and this is 47, we could find angle 3. But by process of elimination, you got the answer. What was another problem that I haven't done yet? Thank you. Number 2, determine whether PQR is congruent to STU. It tells me that one of the points on P is negative 3, 2. Then I have negative 2, 3. And then I have negative 1, 4. Is that right? Negative 2, negative 3. And negative 1, 4. And then I have PQR, yes, 2, 4. And 3, negative 1. And 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if you didn't have multiple choice answers, how would you solve this problem? Or if it didn't look congruent, but it could still be, what would you do? You could possibly do the slope. Distance formula would be the easiest. I mean, the most guaranteed way, right? But I can look, this one goes up 2 over 2, up 2 over 2. This one goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. Yep, and this one goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 1. So they are congruent. And the angles, you wouldn't use an angle to prove this, because if you're in the coordinate plane, until you learn trig, you aren't going to know what the angles of these vertices are. All we know is sides. Is that the only 2 that I didn't get to? Oh, thank you. And number 10. How do I go? I'll just go new. This is 4, 2, 65, 5, 70, 1, 43, 107, 6, and 3 is out here. And we're trying to find angle 3. So angle 3 is sitting out here. What do I know about angle 3 is that it relates to these two? Yeah, it's the external angles theorem. The external angles theorem says this angle is equal to the sum of the interior angles. Okay, so I need to find angle 2. That's going to be my goal here, is to find angle 2. Well, I'm going to have to start with 6 because I have 2 here. So this ends up being 150. So this must be 30. So 6 is 30. I'm going to just erase that. Now I know this big angle here is 100, right? And I know this is 43. So this plus this is 143. That'll give me 1. See the big triangle? So what's 143 is what? 37? 143. Yes. So angle 1's 37. So angle 5 is going to be 107, 180 minus that, 93. Is that right? 70 plus 37 is 107. So 73. Then I have a linear system here. Angle 5, 65 degrees, and 2, I'll make 180. So I have 73 and 65, 138, so it's 42 degrees is here. And 90 plus 42, because that's what we said angle 3 was equal to, is the sum of those interior, is 132 degrees. Okay? If you choose to. I'm going to hand out the review, so the rest of the period you can either do the review or you can retake the test, either way.